Dr. Shola calls out the carnival of so-called experts who abuse Meghan Markle. I love Dr. Shola, and I love how she supports Prince Harry and Meghan and condemns abuse against them. She calls out Piers Morgan and the others who lie about Harry and Meghan, who abuse Harry and Meghan, who are racist towards Meghan Markle. I love how she supports them. Now here's what Dr. Shola has said, and I quote, "Misogyny does not just manifest because you use certain keywords. There are words that are evasive, insidious, overt, and covert that manifest misogyny against women. And Meghan Markle critics are in denial about their misogyny and racism." My family, very, very, very much true. Now, Dr. Shola said that Meghan Markle critics are in denial about their misogyny and racism, which fuel their attacks against her. My family, allow me to say this. Should we call people who abuse Meghan Markle critics? The answer to me is no. Let us call them what they're called, abusers, because abusers abuse. And that is what they've been doing to Meghan for a long, long time, abusing Meghan Markle. Now, Dr. Shola noted that racism and misogyny are not only expressed via specific words. As she argued, the storm of criticism directed at Meghan has shined a light on the profound lack of awareness of intersecting forms of oppression. My family, Dr. Shola said that. My family, even Harry said it, that the biggest mistake is people thinking that you can only be racist if you use the N-word. Even Harry said it in the Harry and Meghan documentary. That's a big mistake. Racism is shown in how you treat, one white woman, in this case Kate Middleton, compared to Meghan, a biracial black woman. You abuse Meghan for doing the same thing that Kate is doing. Let's say, for example, cradling her baby bump. That shows racism. That shows racism. My family. And that is what Meghan experienced in the UK for quite a long, long time. That is what, took a huge toll on Meghan while in the UK, to the point that Meghan contemplated taking her own life. That's what Meghan thought about doing while in the UK, because of the media abuse, because of racism, insults, abuse, the hounding, the harassment. My family, what they put Meghan through is just cruel and just so evil. And we all deserve to just keep calling it out. We must just keep calling it out, because what happened to Meghan Markle should never ever have happened. Meghan experienced so much evil while in the UK. And yes, Meghan did indeed suffer. And I even recall from Harry's memoir Spare on what Prince Harry said on racism that Meghan experienced. And you'll never ever find anyone talking about this part of Harry's memoir Spare. Allow me to just read you these parts. Once again, please. My family. And I quote Harry's memoir Spare. "We had no other option And we would not have had to do it if you'd all protected us and protected the monarchy in the process. You are doing a disservice to yourselves by not protecting my wife, Harry told Charles and courtiers. I looked around the table, funny faces. Was it incomprehension, cognitive dissonance, a long-term mission at play, or did they really not know? Were they so deep inside a bubble that they really hadn't fully appreciated how bad things were? For instance, Tatler magazine, quoting an old Etonian saying, had married Meg because foreigners like her are easier than girls with the right background. Or the Daily Mail, saying Meg was upwardly mobile because she'd gone from slaves to royalty in just 150 years. You'll never find tabloid media, carnival of so-called experts discussing this part of Harry's memoir sphere. You'll never find them. Or these social media posts about her being a yacht girl and an escort, or calling her a gold digger, and some insulting words like I mentioned here, and the N-word repeatedly. Some of these posts were in the comment section on the pages of all three palaces' social media accounts and still had not been expunged because the palace were part of the abuse against Meghan Markle, because they were behind the racism directed towards Meghan Markle. Or the tweet, Harry says in his memoir spare, that said, and I quote, "Dear Duchess, I'm not saying that I hate you, but I hope your next period happens in a shark tank." That's a death threat towards Meghan. You won't ever find UK tabloids discussing this. Or the revelations of racist texts from Joe Manny, girlfriend of UKIP leader Henry Bolton, including one saying that my black American fiancé would taint the royal family, setting the stage for a black king. And another averring that Miss Money would never ever have sex with a N-word. This is Britain, not Africa, she said. Or the mail complaining that Meg could not keep her hands off her baby bump, that she was rubbing it and rubbing it as if she were a succubus. Things had got so out of hand. 72 female members of parliament from both main parties had condemned the colonial undertones of all newspapers' coverage of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. None of these things had merited one comment, public or private, from my family, Harry said. You won't ever find anyone talking about it. That's why I said, let me once again share that with you, my family. You won't ever find anyone out there ever talking about that part of Harry's memoir spare. You won't ever find anyone. No media outlet, no carnival or so-called expert will ever discuss that on national TV. Because if they do talk about it, then they agree, indeed, that what Meghan went through is very much racism. Now, my family, Dr. Shola, also said this, that she urged people to understand the toxicity of intersecting inequalities of race, gender, and class. And that one of the key things that have come out of the Meghan Markle saga that has gone worldwide is there is a real in-depth, deep level of ignorance about intersectionality, Dr. Shola Mosmamimu said. She warned people request examples of racism and misogyny levied against Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, adding, they expect you to do the work for them to unpick how misogyny manifests. And my family, they want examples. I just shared with you examples from Harry's memoir spare. Tell them to read Harry's memoir spare if they want examples of what Meghan went through. You can still also find those racist articles against Meghan Markle from the Daily Mail website. It's still right there. And Dr. Shola said this, and I quote, misogyny doesn't just manifest because you use certain keywords. There are words that are evasive, insidious, overt, and covert that manifest misogyny against women. Dr. Shola also noted racism doesn't solely involve individuals wielding the N-word, exactly, just as Harry said, or choosing to use the word black in every sentence, exactly as Prince Harry said in the Harry and Meghan documentary. No wonder I love so much that Harry and Meghan told the story in their own words. I love it. And they showed evidence. If you want evidence, go ahead. Look at the Harry and Meghan documentary. You will have the evidence right there because they showed it. If they want evidence, show me evidence of racism. It's right there. Go watch the Harry and Meghan documentary. If you can't do research by yourself, it's so easy. It's so easy. Just read Harry's memoir spare. Watch the Harry and Meghan documentary. And you will find the evidence that you say you are looking for. Now, Dr. Shola says that in a bid to defend the bigotry, people will claim the remarks were not a nice thing to say, but do not constitute racism, and will seek to come up with every single kind of defense. We saw what Jeremy Clarkson did to Meghan. His column, Inciting Violence Against Meghan Markle. His column that is meant to incite violence against Meghan Markle. We saw what he did. And then came up with excuses. And even the carnival of so-called experts, from Piers Morgan to other carnival of so-called experts, all of them were coming in defense to defend Jeremy Clarkson. His column was full of vile hate speech. So full of hate. Even members of parliament got involved. That's how hateful it was. And it wasn't the first time that members of parliament got involved. While Meghan was back in the UK, members of parliament once again got involved, condemning it, the racism, the colonial undertones on Meghan's coverage by the UK media. You know? In the reporting. That's how bad it got while Meghan was in the UK. And even after she left, once again, members of parliament got involved after Jeremy Clarkson wrote those vile comments about Meghan after having dinner with the Queen Consort Camilla. My family, but despite that, someone says that it's not racism. It has nothing to do with race. Then what is it? What is it? The tabloids call it jokes. Jokes. I don't see the fun in inciting violence against a woman. I don't see the fun in it. It wasn't jokes. And everyone knows that it wasn't jokes. He meant his words. And time again, we have seen threats. against Meghan on TV. From Eamon Holmes, Jeremy Clarkson, Jeremy Kyle. It's like every single day. And we must condemn it. We must condemn it. And that's what we'll keep on doing every single day. We won't stop. We'll never ever stop. Now, Dr. Shola also says that, and I quote, "I don't need to be Meghan Markle to see that the language used against her is racist." Very, very true. You don't need to be Meghan to see the language they use to cover Meghan is racist. And even Prince Harry said that if you can't see what's happening, then I can't help you. You know, in response to how they cover Kate and Meghan. Trashing Meghan for doing the same things as Kate Middleton. If you can't see that, I can't help you, Harry said. And indeed, very true. Very true. You know, Harry said that I had to see what was happening by myself before I made the decision to take my family out of here. He saw it himself. The racism, the abuse, the insults towards Meghan Markle. He saw it himself and he made the decision to take his wife and son away from that place. And even in the Harry and Meghan documentary, Harry said that hate was being stirred up against my wife and son. He did not say just my wife. No. Wife and son. Archie and Lilibet right now are prince and princesses. The tabloids, the carnival of so-called experts have thrown a huge tantrum. Dan Wootton showed how xenophobic he truly is. Once again, attacking a child for being American. Lilibet was bullied over her name. Yet other white kids born in the royal family, named after the late Queen Elizabeth, are named Elizabeth after the late Queen. That's okay. But the tabloids and the farm have a problem with a mixed race daughter of Harry and Meghan being named after the late Queen. My family. That is racism. Racism is not restricted to calling someone the N-word. Racism is not restricted to calling someone the N-word. That's a big, big misconception that people have. You know? That you can only be racist if you use the N-word. That's a big, big, big lie. You know? And my family, we all see even that Archie and Lilibet are being attacked. Not just Harry and Meghan, because they're called prince and princess. That's a problem for the UK media and some members of the farm. That is racism. My family, that is racism. You don't need to be Meghan Markle to see that the language used against her, not just her, let me also add her kids also, is racist. And Dr. Shola also says that, and I quote, "I don't need to be Meghan Markle to also recognize the misogyny and the sexist attacks against her as a woman, because as a woman, I've experienced the same. I understand common sense is not common, but people, let's apply some deductive reasoning so we can grow." Exactly. Is what I've been saying here. If people in the UK would use basic reasoning, just basic reasoning, you would realize you're being lied to. The owner of Fox News, Rupert Murdoch himself, he said something actually, my family, on lying, on his network lying. He said and I quote, "Our viewers don't want the truth. If they wanted the truth, they'd switch over to Newsmax." Allow me to repeat that, please. Our viewers don't want to hear the truth. If we start telling the truth, they'll switch over to Newsmax. And despite hearing that, despite people seeing the lawsuit that Dominion has against Fox News, people seeing it, that the anchors, the journalists at Fox News are lying, from Tucker Carlson to the other ones, are lying. Despite seeing that, court documents, you have court documents in your hands. In your hands, you have it, that they are lying. Despite it, someone wants to quote Tucker Carlson. Despite it, someone wants to quote what Samantha Markle said, Samantha Markle Grant Rasmussen said to Tucker Carlson. My family, someone wants to use quotes said there as truth. Despite their anchors lying on the camera, they know they're lying, but they still lie. And they get so many viewers based off of lies, which makes me believe that some people truly just want to be lied to. Maybe they like being lied to. That's what, I'm going with, because it's the truth, really. How else can you explain it? You've been shown evidence by Harry and Meghan in the Harry and Meghan documentary of what they went through. The racism, threats. Someone still asks on TV, what racism? Show me an example. I've read you that excerpt of Harry's memoir in Spare. Harry's memoir Spare. Harry detailing racism, insults, racist comments being made towards Meghan Markle. Someone still asks, what racism? Show me an example. Someone can still ask you that. Yet the evidence is right there. My family. You know what? We'll speak the truth, because we know that media outlets owned by Rupert Murdoch will not. People must just learn to use basic reasoning. It's important that they do that. My family, also, in addition to that, my family, allow me to just go right ahead and talk about something else. And it's what Idris Elba said of Meghan's wedding day and how it was like. Now, Idris Elba said this, and I quote, about Harry and Meghan's wedding. Said that Meghan Markle was the best dancer at her wedding to Prince Harry. She had a lot of fun. My family, I'm happy to hear that. Happy that Meghan had fun on her wedding day. And that she had a good time. Despite everything that she went through. With Kate being difficult towards her. William being abusive. My family, I'm happy that Meghan had a good time at her wedding day. My family, Idris Elba, who not only attended the wedding, but was the DJ during the reception, revealed that there was one person in particular who let loose that night. And that person was Meghan Markle, the bride, having a good time, enjoying her wedding. I'm happy to hear this. I'm happy to hear this, really. I'm very, very happy. And Idris Elba said that, and I quote, I think Meghan was the one that was really letting it go. When asked who was the best dancer at the royal party, Idris also said that, and I quote, you know that she was real. She just had a lot of fun. It was her wedding. So she had the greatest time, Idris Elba said. And I'm happy about this. I'm happy to hear this news about Meghan Markle. Prince Harry and Meghan were carefree as they dominated the dance floor. My family, I'm so happy that Harry and Meghan had an amazing, amazing wedding. The both of them will never ever forget. Now, Idris Elba said that he was so nervous ahead of the DJ gig, as the stakes were so high going into that royal event, Harry and Meghan's wedding. But despite the pressure he felt, here's what he said about Meghan. Meghan is a nice, wonderful, amazing human being who cares about everyone around her, who is so thoughtful and amazing. And everyone who has ever met Meghan Markle only has but nice words about Meghan Markle. Everyone except Karens who believe that they can be rude to Meghan and expect Meghan to smile for them, to pose for them, to be warm towards them. You know exactly who I'm talking about, Rebel Wilson. My family, so everyone who has met Meghan has nice things about Meghan. And here's what Meghan did. Tell Idris Elba to ease the pressures that he felt. Meghan eased Idris Elba's worries and helped him to choose the music for the night. And Meghan sent Idris Elba a playlist with some bear tunes on it. And my family, and he shared the two songs that he deeply liked. That is Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody, which was Harry and Meghan's first dance song. And Dr. Dre's Still Dre were among the hits from the star-studded night, Elba revealed. My family, he said that guests went off at Houston's 1987 hit and added that Still Dre was Meghan's choice, was also a huge hit for everyone around. For Elba, this DJ gig at Harry and Meghan's wedding was high stakes. Not only because it was a royal wedding reception, but also because of his real relationship with the bride and groom, Meghan and Harry. And he said Harry and Meghan are such good friends. And I wanted to make sure they had a great time. My family, that's what Idris Elba said. And he also said that this wasn't like my cousin's wedding. This reception wasn't at the community hall. This was a big, huge deal. My family. And that it was a huge dance party. Everyone was letting loose and they had a blast. A fun night. It was. My family, all the stars were getting in on the fun, with Meghan's longtime friend Serena Williams also playing beer pong. And that she's super old school like that, someone who attended the wedding said. And George Clooney taking the helm behind the bar, someone said that. My family, it was a great wedding. My family, and to this day, Harry and Meghan now have two gorgeous kids, Archie and Lilibet Diana. I find it so nice and heartwarming to hear these stories about Harry and Meghan's wedding, about that wedding reception. And may God keep blessing Prince Harry and Meghan. I'm just happy for them that they have great friends around them, that they had a good time. I'm very happy about that 100%. Surrounded with friends, people that they love, my family. Like Tena Gavanka, Nacho Figueras and his wife, Delfina. May God bless Harry and Meghan so much, my family. And so what do you think about what Dr. Shola said? About what Dr. Shola said, and also what, you know, Idris Elba said about Meghan's wedding. I'd like to hear your opinion on that, please. And with that and so much more, stay tuned on next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and support our ever-growing family on YouTube. God bless Harry, Meghan, Archie, Lipetana, and Dora Ragland. My family, what God has put together, let no man or woman or anyone ever separate. Harry and Meghan, you're blessed and you are loved. And the fruit of your love are your 2 kids, Archie and Lilibet, and 1 child who is in heaven. May God bless you, Harry and Meghan. And may you heal the pain from the pain that you have endured all these years at the hands of the UK media and some members of the family like William, Charles, Kate, and Camilla. My family, stay tuned to our next video. Love you always and forever. Hello, members of Zesco Family TV. First of all, I want to say thank you for all your support that you give us to our channel. We don't take it for granted that you support this channel. I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for lending out your support and fighting against injustices, supporting Prince Harry and Meghan, showing them love. Love will always triumph over evil, and for that I say thank you. Good will always prevail over bad. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for joining this community, this amazing community of Zesco Family TV. I love you so much, family, from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best. May you have a great day. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned a lot of things. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Leave a comment below, like, and subscribe. Love you, family, always and forever. Sayonara.